every single thing that you ever wanted to know about the St. George real estate market. We're going to give you every prediction. You're going to know exactly today whether you should buy, sell, and invest in real estate. Jesse, we're going to tell them exactly when they should do it, exactly how they should do it. We're going to make sure, Jesse, that they don't lose any money ever and that they only make money on their thing. And then when we're done with that, we'll tell you that it was just another opinion.
Yeah. got some oceanfront property in Utah for you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to love the oceanfront property.
And I mean, like,
this is the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive. Welcome in. Jesse, how often do we get the question, how's the market?
Probably 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the
Depending
day.
on how many people I talk to, but at least once a day.
You know, guys, it's an interesting situation being in real estate. And you know, we just had the parade of homes, and I had this one multiple times during the parade, and I actually had it since then. Hey, how was the parade? Was it so crazy for you guys during the parade? Kind of, except for you have to understand what the parade of homes is and isn't.
Yeah.
Right. You know, if you look at the average person who comes into the St. George Parade of Homes, they came here for, quite frankly, if they're local, they went to the Parade of Homes to see the Parade of Homes, if they're local. Okay.
Right.
So I don't know what percentage of people are local that go to the parade, but if they're local, they only went for the parade, because local people aren't going to the parade to buy homes.
No, they're going to check it out and get ideas.
For the most part.
Just to entertain themselves.
Yeah, for the most part. And if you look at the number of, you know, it's hilarious. Years and years ago, we used to take our camera to the Parade of Homes. Now we just take our phone. If you look at just the sheer number of people filming, you know, it's like, hey, I'm getting ideas for my house. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you have people out of town at the Parade of Homes, well, let's talk about this. I don't have any percentage, and I'll never be able to give you a statistic. And quite frankly, there are parade homes that sold during the Parade of Homes. As a matter of fact, our friend Jordan Wall right downtown built this really cool, like grown-up 1970s house. It's kind of what we are describing it as.
Yeah.
Sold it first morning in the first hour. Nice. But if you look at the average person who comes in from out of town, they came in from out of town because the weather was great. Their kid had a soccer or baseball tournament in St. George. President's Day is notoriously a popular time for people from northern Utah. Half of northern Utah was here, I'm afraid. And the parade's fun, right? So was it the Super Bowl of real estate? I had a friend who felt like it was the Super Bowl of real estate. Maybe kind of, sort of. Here's the interesting thing, Jesse. We have 24 clients right now who are in, because if you're asking right now, are people buying and selling real estate? Jesse, here's the question. Are people buying and selling real estate?
They are every day, every second of every day.
Yeah. You know, like, you know, right now, guys, we have 24 clients in a contract. These are families. These are people downsizing, people upsizing, people relocating from out of town. These are people spending anywhere from $300,000 or $400,000 to $2 million on a home. So people are actively buying and selling real estate in St. George, Utah, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about making the forecast as to what's going to happen this year. All right. First, here's what I want to address. I know what everybody wants to hear. Okay. They want to hear that rates are going to come down, and they're going to come down really low. And that's going to make it really great for sellers because they can finally sell their home and get and when they lose their 3% interest rate, that won't be so painful because they can get into another low rate like 4%.
Right.
Okay. And the buyers want rates to drop to 4.5%, certainly under 5%, because for the obvious reasons. Well, I can tell you that I have a forecast. Are you guys ready for this? Do you think our listeners are ready? Because, dude, I'm going to give them insider information.
I hope so.
There's a 100% chance that will or won't happen. So now I'm going to give you the real truth, now that I caught you looking. There's a 0.0000001% chance that rates will actually ever ever approach 4% again. And we have this from every data source that is available in the economy. We have this from Freddie Mac. We have this from Fannie Mae. We have this from every major bank. We have this from the National Association of Realtors. National Association of Realtors, Jesse, who benefits from telling people that rates are going to fall and it's going to get easier.
Yep.
We don't see it.
Yeah. Nobody's saying that it's going to hit that again. They're saying it might get to 5.5 over the next couple of years, but nobody is saying that we'll ever see 3.5%, 4% again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, the only reason we did is because they were trying to prop up the economy. They were trying to make sure that it didn't collapse during COVID.
Well, this is 100% true. And here's what I want people to understand. Okay. And we're going to share some really cool stuff with you this morning. I don't want to share. I want to ask you a question. If you knew that what we just said was true, okay. If you knew that what we said was true, here we go. I've got this on our Zoom, Jesse, that rates were in a I'm going to tell you right now, in a shocking case scenario, best case, every single star and moon and sun and planetary situation lines up, you might get low fives this year. If there were a perfect economic storm. Let me ask everyone a question sitting here. By the way, our show is brought to you by Blue Form Media. They're sitting here right now. Caleb and Mallory right in the Larkin Group headquarters. I'm gonna include them in the show, but no one's gonna hear them. I'm gonna ask everyone in the room, if there were a perfect economic situation where the stars lined up, that could happen. Does anyone in this room think that things are pretty settled politically and economically in the world right now?
That's funny.
So things are pretty peaceful out there, right, guys?
Oh, that's good.
Like the Democrats and the Republicans are agreeing now? Mostly peaceful. Yeah. Did you hear it? He said mostly peaceful. It's like those mostly peaceful protests where where people destroyed entire cities. Do you guys catch the great classic nature of this? Hey, we just want everything to go really well and be peaceful, but we're looking down the river and we can see class 5 rapids and like gigantic building-sized boulders in the river and then a cliff and a waterfall. That ain't going to be smooth.
Very true.
So let's talk. So go ahead. I know you always have something good to share, Jesse.
Well, because I just got back from the Keller Williams real estate conference, family
largest real estate convention in the world,
and they went through, the economic data, and it's actually pretty solid. It's just like stable.
Yeah, well, this is I'm loving this direction because this is where we're going. Things are actually moving along.
The world falling apart, the market crashing, like the market's holding.
Yeah,
like especially here locally. I mean, you and I have on this program said, "Oh yeah, the market's got to go down more. Got to go down more. It's got to go down more," and yet over and over again, it shows us that it's stable.
Well, and let's talk about this. Let's talk about some data we got on the screen. Affordability improved in the second half of 2025. Okay? There is something called an affordability index, and the affordability index by the way, it's a weird index. It's not 0 to 100. It actually can go all the way up. It goes from 75 to 125. But we know that affordability has been at some all-time lows. In the last half of 2025, we're just going to keep this simple today, okay? Affordability increased. By the way, if you just picked up our show, I'm Jeremy Larkin. This is Jesse Paul. We're at the Larkin Group. We are the people on the corner of Tabernacle with the cool mural. I have people, Jesse, who assume we're too busy because they hear us on the radio. Mm-hmm. I had 3 different parade builders go, does anyone sell more real estate than you guys do in St. George? These are guys building parade homes. They perceive that we're too busy. Just so you know, we're not too busy for you. Yeah. We're perfectly busy to help you. So if you need to buy, sell, invest in real estate, and you want to chat, we'll chat with you. Okay. Guys, at the national level, a mortgage payment now takes 32% of the median household income. Well, I know that's more than people want, but I will say this. It's the best affordability we've seen since August of 2022. Okay.
Yeah.
It's on track to improve, they say, to 31.8%. Let me stop the show. If someone's listening and they're very negative and feeling very pessimistic about the housing market and affordability, I want to tell you something. I understand. Our show today, Jesse, I get this kind of crap in like the YouTube comments. Oh, realtors, they just tell everybody. Well, yeah, because historically realtors have told everybody like, oh, you should always buy and sell. Here's the deal.
I'm glad we're going here.
I know you're about to die.
I'm glad we're going here, but I'm waiting.
He's like a kid in a candy shop. Our show isn't to tell you to buy or sell. We deliver perspective on the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive. I don't really care what you do. Oh, how can you say that? Because we're busy, dudes. Busy enough.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do. My job is to deliver reality. And this is why, Jesse, agents and consumers like working with us, because they'll go, I feel like you just gave me the most balanced / honest feedback that anyone's given me about the housing market. Correct. I'm just telling you that housing affordability is the best it's been since August of 2022. Is it affordable for everybody? Well, clearly not.
No. Yeah.
Right?
So, over the conference, they talked about, and we looked at the history, and this is actually true in St. George too. There's never been a 10-year period that home values were not higher.
That they did not go up.
In fact,
in the 10-year period, that they were not higher at the end of the 10 years.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Right now, if somebody has a 2-year plan to sell the house, I don't think it is actually a good idea, because there's too much risk involved there. There are too many positive things have to happen in that 2-year period that may or may not happen. Now, but if it's a long-term play, I don't think there's ever a bad time.
Yeah.
In fact, when everybody was saying what a bad time it was, I bought 2 rental properties.
Well, I can tell you right now that
so
correct.
Did you actually?
Correct. Let's keep going here, guys. Buying homes taking less of your income right now, right? Than it has in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
3 years. All right. We could get into the 20 major markets where homeownership is expected to be affordable by year end. That doesn't matter to people here, right? Who's moving to Detroit, right? But at the same time, you have some great cities in there. Raleigh, North Carolina. There are some places where people want to live, but a lot of these places they're far away. They're not where people are from here are moving. Yeah. People are moving. They're moving back here. Okay. So here's what's interesting, guys. This is what we're feeling. So when people go, but Jeremy, it doesn't feel affordable. Now here's the slide. 81% of the counties in the Midwest are returning affordability is high. 66% of the counties in the South, affordability is decent. 48% in the Northeast, it's decent. The challenge is only 17% of the counties in the West have what we would call affordability in terms of where it's cheaper to buy than rent a home. This is why when you get this data, it doesn't feel that way, because here's the catch-22 that we're dealing with. We want to live in a place that is the kind of place where everyone would want to live. Mm-hmm. The challenge is when you live in the kind of place where everybody wants to live, then everybody wants to live there. Yeah. And so now suddenly, see, Barstow, California is my whipping boy. It's the city I always goof on this show.
Yeah.
I promise you can get a great buy in Barstow today. Barstow is the city that every person who has ever gone to Disneyland or the beach from Southern Utah has driven through, and they said, wow, so who lives here? Because this is a pretty big place, and they're right now, there are reasons, but so we have this catch-22 where it's like, we want to be here, Jesse, but it's so nice that people want to be here, right?
Yeah, that's actually what drives Southern Utah economy, is people wanting to be here. Whether we like it or not, we are a tourist community.
Yeah, it's a resort town.
And it's getting bigger and bigger.
It's a resort town.
Every year.
Yeah.
So it's here.
So this is where, let me make sure I'm talking to the microphone. Let me share a slide. I pulled them off for just a minute. Now here, you can really like this. Okay. In just a year, rates are down a full percentage point. Here's what it saves you. Okay. So we're down. This is what people don't remember. January 13th, 2025, rates were 7.2%. February 23rd of 2026, rates are 6.2%. And quite frankly, we're seeing them bounce around 5.9. Because remember, this data is a couple of weeks old. Because I get this report once a month. So right now, where rates sit today, Jesse, it's saving people about, honestly, $400 per month on an average home. Okay, but here's what's important. It's saving them $400 a month if they bought the same house price.
Right.
The other option is you take the savings and you buy more home. So suddenly, instead of buying a $500,000 home, here's what we know about a percentage point decrease in rates. Now you can afford a
600.
Yeah.
550.
550 for sure. And you could push 600. So a lot of people are just getting more home.
I just had some folks do that. So they were looking right around 650. One of the builders in town is offering a 3.99 rate, introductory rate. So they ended up with a 4.12.
Typically 2 years.
No, it's a 30-year fixed.
What?
So they were able to buy an $800,000 home, the one the wife actually liked, for a little bit less of a payment than the 650 because of that interest rate.
And if somebody out there is saying, I'd really like to help, I've got my kids, or somebody's trying to get into a home, maybe it's you need to reach out to us at the Larkin Group, because we can give you some options in town where these builders are running 3.9% rates. It's wildly cheap. Okay. So this is all true and real. All right. I want to keep showing you something. One of the things you have to understand if you're a buyer or a seller is buyer demand responds instantaneously to mortgage rate changes.
Yeah.
And so what happens is I have something on the screen that shows us this. That
your screen's not sharing. At least it's not going to Facebook.
Oh, I don't know about Facebook. I'm definitely sharing.
I'm on the Zoom. I'm there now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. So, for instance, September of 2025 to November of 2025, we had rates come down a quarter point. We saw an 8% increase in buyer activity. November 24 to December 2024, we had rates come down 0.2 of a point, 14% increase in rates or in buyer activity. So you need to understand that buyers will jump back into action when rates fall just like a quarter point. Okay. And that's going to affect you if you're a buyer.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to help you in some ways, and it's going to hurt you because you're going to be competing. All right. Last thing I want to share. Okay. And then I want to step out and just kind of talk in real people's terms. Okay. So again, we have a graph that shows us buyer demand. This is just, it's based on how many people are getting mortgages. Buyer demand is increasing. And I want to say this about the market, or ask the question again. If you knew that the best we may see in the next couple of years is 5%, may see. And right now, we're not seeing any forecast of anything below 5.5% in a best case scenario in 2026.
Yeah.
Does it change your plans? And let me take that a step further, Jesse. Does it cause you to say, fine, I won't wait, I'm going to buy or sell? Or would it allow you to say, fine, this isn't going where I want it to go. I'm just going to shelve the idea. Yeah. Because that would be helpful to some people so they can stop flipping thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, I think the interest rates aren't the only thing making people wait. They're also waiting for the market to go down. Mm-hmm. And 2 years ago, it stopped dropping. It dropped about, what was it, 10, 12%. And then it stabilized. For the last 2 years, we've seen pretty much the same market. So that dip or crash that they're waiting for, at least in St. George, isn't coming.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part, is are they actually, by waiting, costing themselves more money? And only they get to decide that, because you have to look at the numbers for your own life to actually know if that's true or not.
Yeah. Well, and Jesse, I really appreciate you bringing this up. We had Lawrence Yoon, who's the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. The guy's genius. A year ago. excuse me, a week ago.
Yeah, last week we had him on.
We had him on a week ago, our final 5 minutes. And he gave the housing price forecast. And let me tell you what he said. He said, I think home prices probably go up 1 or 2% this year.
Yeah.
Is that a lot? Nah.
No.
But guess what?
They went up last year. 1%.
1 or 2. Yeah, but guess what it tells us? They ain't going down. So again, if you knew that rates may not get below 5.5% this year, if we're lucky, if you knew that home prices actually weren't going down, that they're going to stay likely stable or go up a percentage point, does it change your plans? Either A, to take action, or B, to just go, let's just shelve this thing.
Yeah.
And this is where I try to be really balanced in a way for people. You have to make a decision, and the decision fatigue that people go through, should we buy a home? Should we sell our home? For a really long time, we don't realize how it wears on us. Like, we just keep having the conversation. We just keep thinking about the situation, and we put it off. Should we or shouldn't we? Should we or shouldn't we? And then if you have kids, either they hear it and that stresses them out, or they sense it and that stresses them out. So these guys, there's our forecast that has 100% likelihood of being accurate or inaccurate. Okay. I love that phrase.
Yep.
Let me leave you with the kind of just real stuff that we're dealing with in the final 2-3 minutes. Met with Doug and Becky yesterday, really great people. And they've been a long-term clients of mine. I helped them buy their home in 2008. It's my old neighborhood, countryside. Yep. 2008. It's now 2026. 18 years have passed, and they're getting ready to move. Mom passed away. These folks are in their 60s.
Yeah.
His mom passed away. His dad is just kicking and just so strong. And he's got this home, big home. And he's like, guys, I have an apartment. Do you want to move over here? And so they're going to downsize. And it's kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. They're going to downsize from their house to an apartment inside Dad's house. And Dad is 88 years old. And I only share this story to say, these are the real scenarios. These folks have about a $500,000 home and call it $475,000, and they've got a lot of equity in the home. And when they sell that, they're going to have a lot of cash that they can sit on. Mm-hmm. They've owned it far more than any tax requirements, so they won't pay capital gains.
Yeah.
It's been a primary residence for at least 2 of the last 5 years. And they're going to now take their monthly housing costs and basically take them to zero.
Nice.
This is going to put them in a situation where they're already doing well. They're retired, and they're going to be retired in style. And so, guys, there are so many different scenarios in which it's going to make sense or not make sense for you to buy or sell real estate. The best comment yesterday is they said, we have all this stuff in the garage we need to get rid of, and Jesse will love this. We don't want to make this our kids' problem when we eventually pass away. And so, we work with a lot of downsizers, and if you're a downsizer or your parents need to downsize and you need help, that's one of our great specialties. But people are buying and selling.
They are.
And they're moving in our final minute. They're moving for the reasons that these people are very happy in their home and they're very happy in their neighborhood. And the reason I tell the story is because you have to make the decision, regardless of all of the economic forecasts, about when it's right for you. Jesse, how do people get in touch with us?
If you just go right to the Google and Google the Larkin Group, you'll be able to find us.
Yep.
You can go to gostgeorge.com. That's GOSTGeorge.com. You can find us.
Yep.
The easiest ways.
You just have to let your fingers do the walking in the yellow pages. Now you just tell Siri or chat or Google,
voice text.
Voice text that stuff. My life is voice text. Jeremy Larkin, Jesse Paul, Larkin Group, Keller Williams Realty.
Thanks for having us.